long day.
Tell me about it.
Okay. I woke up multiple times throughout the night. It was horrible. I do that quite often. I have no clue why.
So you're sleep deprived.
I guess so.
Do you have insomnia?
Not that I know of. I just like go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up.
Oh, you wake up in the middle of the night multiple times?
Yeah, throughout the night.
It's because you drink too much water?
Too much?
Yeah, because I know my son used to do that. He used to drink like a tank of water.
Oh my.
And then he'd have to wake up multiple times in the middle of the night. I wonder why.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
You don't pee in the middle of the night?
No, actually. I never peed at bed before.
We got off on a good start here.
Anyways, and then there's your school. School is...
Maybe it's stress.
Stress.
Is it stress? Do you worry?
About engineering and InfoTech, yes. Quite a lot. I worry about not getting 100% in that class.
What is happening?
I've been worrying since grade 9 about that.
InfoTech and engineering? Seriously?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
thank goodness.
There's no stress. No, don't worry.
I thought you guys were having fun.
We are.
I'm just stressing over the light box right now.
Really?
Not finishing that.
Oh, we will finish it.
Okay.
It's going to look good. It's just taking...
I have to cut that out by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hoping to hang some tomorrow. I mean, there is the goal and then the realization that, wow, there's actually much more to do than I thought.
Yeah.
And then every year it's slightly different too, because I don't know what it is. It's hard to plan for things like that. Because I look at it and I'm like, okay, this year it took this much time, so I'll have this much time. And then the next year comes along and I don't know, sometimes materials change or the glue stops working or the laser cutter is, there's issues with that. So, but that's problem solving. That's what you have to deal with. How do you
problem solve with students?
How do I problem solve with students? What do you mean?
Well, sometimes students don't like getting work done, and so that draws it a lot.
Yeah, it does. In the end, it's up to the student. I mean, I do what I can to... Hopefully they're interesting projects that we do. Hopefully they're relevant skills. Hopefully it's just fun. Because we could sit there and do worksheets and, run a video and do a test. But this is meant to be a hands-on program. So that's what people sign up for, hopefully.
Which is why there's no stress having to do with it.
No, there is stress.
No, for us.
Oh, for you.
Us.
Oh, you have a lot, though.
Oh, I hope there's stress for you.
No, zero.
I know Faye wants to get her project done. Yeah. Anyways, we want to talk about you. Sukhman and Faye are here, and they've come here to try to help me get going with the podcast that I've kind of left behind for so many months, because I haven't done one for a long time.
How long has it been since the last one?
I think if you look, I think it says December 2024.
Oh my God.
So a long time. And that's just, last semester I did have a prep and I could have done it, but I was like, oh, I've got so much stuff to do. And then this semester came along and then...
You don't even have a prep this semester.
I don't even have a prep this semester. So I do this for fun on my spare time, which is now. And that's why I brought you guys here, because it's fun talking to you guys.
Thank you.
Woo-hoo.
Yay. So let's start with talking about some of your interests. Faye, I don't know that much about you. I know you enjoy anime.
Yeah.
So what kind of other things do you like to do?
I like to dance and draw sometimes.
Right, you dance. Can you
Yeah.
talk more about your dance? Like, when did that start, and what kind of dance do you do?
Well, it's not really professional or anything. I think it just started with my cousins back around when COVID first started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were all into K-pop, so we all just started, like, learning a bunch of different choreographies with each other.
So how do you? I guess there must be tutorial videos
Yeah,
online.
they have like they post their dance practices usually, so we just like watch those videos over and over and like
Really?
learn it on our own like that.
Okay. I don't know much about K-pop. I mean, I've heard some K-pop, but and I've heard Rosé or
Yeah.
Rosie. But like, what brings you to K-pop? What's interesting about K-pop?
I think it was just like it usually has a lot of energy, at least the mainstream songs, and it was I don't know, it usually helped me stay up while studying.
That's a good point. I have used that kind of music, and also because I don't understand the language,
Yeah.
right?
So you don't have to worry about the lyrics being weird.
Right. Or distracting you. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes if you can't understand it, then it's kind of background.
You can't
so that
really
you can
sing it
study.
or anything.
Right. So, like, what artists are we talking about?
I think at first it was like BTS and just like the really popular groups. And then after a while, it just started becoming whatever song was mainstream.
Uh-huh.
So like Twice, Fancy, some songs like that.
Mm-hmm. So you guys would learn the moves, and then that's a
Yeah.
good way to get into dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that's all we got to do.
So you've never actually performed it. Nobody's ever seen it outside of your room.
We performed it to family sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like at a family gathering?
Well, they kind of just dragged us out and made us do it.
It's very
Cool.
family-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, especially on Christmas or something, we'd be in the middle of dancing and then all of them just come in all of a sudden.
That's
So we just
neat.
have to keep dancing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that if you have a gig like that, it drives you to practice more and improve, right? You're still doing it.
Not as often. My cousins don't dance anymore. And now I just dance with Natalie.
Oh, I didn't know Natalie was into it too.
She's always asking me to dance, but I never can anymore because I have like homework.
Yeah. Is this something that you might do for like a live at lunch or something like that?
I'll ask Natalie about that. I think she wanted to do fine arts night, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So June 17th,
Yeah.
same day as the exhibition.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's saying we can get a dance done on time.
So K-pop, what's the difference between, besides language, K-pop, J-pop, and now I'm hearing something called X-pop?
What's X?
I don't know what X-pop is.
You don't know? Okay. Well, there's that group called XG. They're like they're
I thought they were just like K-pop or something.
well, they're actually Japanese.
Oh.
But
they do both Korean and Japanese.
Yeah. So
it's just like a mashup of both.
They originate from Korea,
Yeah.
but they're all Japanese, and they sing. The songs that I heard sound like they were in Japanese, and then like what got me on into XG was when I don't know if you watched the last Live at Lunch, but Carmen in grade 9, she did a rap.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a rap from.
And I was like, "What is this?" Yeah.
Oh,
it was.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was surprised. I was like, "Wait a sec. That's a." Yeah, I thought it was like a group of rappers from the States or something.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like to me. But then when I looked them up, it was like, oh, they're like, I think there's 6 Japanese women.
I think so.
Yeah, and they all rap and they all sing. They're super talented and they come from Korea, but they're Japanese.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Anyways, they called their music X-pop, I believe, because it kind of is not really any. They don't want to be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting. So, anything else you're interested in? Do you do some drawing too?
I haven't really done any of my hobbies in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Which were?
It was just like the 2 I listed, and then I used to crochet a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I crocheted, I made a Pikachu for Sukhman.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
great.
And when was the last time?
It was like, well, I started it November 2024. I don't think I finished it until like this year, March.
Nice things
Mhm.
take time.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crochet is one of the things that you do.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, my daughter does a lot of crochet.
Right.
I've seen
it's-
on your Instagram.
Yeah. She hasn't done as much lately.
Really?
I think she's been reading a lot lately.
Oh.
She goes through books like crazy. And she's been drawing. So that's one of her things. So Sukhman, what are you into?
Oh, a lot of things. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
There's a piano.
Mm-hmm.
How
How long have you been playing piano?
Has it been like maybe 3-4 years now?
Wow.
Around there. That's been a lot of fun.
4 years, and you're doing Ronda alla Turca.
Yeah.
I don't know where that would sit in terms of Royal Conservatory, but that seems pretty advanced.
I don't know. I just do what's fun, and then
Mhm.
I have my piano teacher yell at
It's
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your piano teacher yell at you?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how we get better, though.
For not practicing, or
No, I practice quite a lot.
you do?
No, just because like I'll mess up sometimes. Mess up certain small things, and he will tell me, no, you shouldn't be doing this. And then we go down this rabbit hole of, oh, like this, oh no, like this, and so on and so forth. Anyway, so I play the piano, and then I guess I've sort of gotten into making music a little bit with the piano, which is fun. Yeah,
My piano teacher used to whack me with a ruler on my hands.
that's a common experience apparently.
Have you not gone
Really?
that?
No, I haven't, but my piano teacher used to get that too.
Used to whack you on the hands?
No, he used to get whacked by his teacher.
Oh.
And then my grandpa
Yeah.
also had the same thing.
Yeah, probably old school.
Probably.
Yeah.
Piano.
Yeah. So you do practice a lot. Good for you.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your practice routine?
Well, we'll go through scales. I've learned that scales are really boring. So we change it up sometimes, and we'll either go from scales to chords, and then maybe a little bit of improvising. And then from there, we get into the real pieces.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
So when you say we, you're talking about
Oh, myself and my ghost piano teacher.
your
Yeah,
ghost piano teacher.
I can hear him yelling at me when
He's
I play.
always looking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah,
So the scales are boring, but they're so useful.
they are very useful.
Yeah.
I often feel like my hands are just too cold,
Yeah.
and so when I play the scales, they become a little bit warmer
You get the cold hands too?
very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even just nervousness. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I always get cold hands. That's why, like, my car has heated steering wheel. It's the best thing ever. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, even now, in the morning, I'll turn on the heated steering, and I'm like, this is nice. Because my hands are always cold.
Yeah,
And then, like, every recital, I would be in the bathroom,
Yeah.
hot water on,
Oh, yeah.
trying to warm them up before playing. Because you know how it is. If
yeah,
they're cold,
exactly.
it's like stiff. You can't move. So, yeah. So 3 or 4 years. That's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And what are your favorite pieces?
I can't play a lot of them. Well, let's see. There's, oh boy, gotta think about this one. Translated pieces like I think it's Leibsled, Love Sorrow. Then there's Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto, especially his second piano concerto, which I missed unfortunately. Piano is amazing in that. And
You mean you missed a performance?
yeah, I missed a performance.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Was that VSO?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I really hated that. But those are there's so many. But those are first few off my head. Yeah.
So, like when you hear a piece that you like, do you immediately go look for sheet music or something?
I'll look at the sheet music.
Uh,
Depending on the piece, I'll either keep it for later and cry a little bit, or I'll practice it.
Yeah.
It's usually the first one. unfortunately. And yeah, and then I'll just listen to the music a lot.
It takes a while sometimes to get it working, right?
Yeah. Though that eventually comes.
And it's nice to have somebody who's an expert, a teacher, to help you out. That's why it's good to have a teacher
Yeah.
who has more experience and who can help you break down the music and figure out what you need to practice to work your way up to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear even the best of the best have piano teachers yelling at them.
Yeah?
Yeah. Very interesting. And
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of professional singers who still have vocal coaches that work with them.
yeah.
Because I guess if it's your instrument, sometimes it's hard to see you need somebody externally to see what you're doing wrong or doing well, because it's just like anything, you work with it so much that you take things for granted.
True. I know Frank Sinatra had like a vocal, what do you call it? Like a vocal coach throughout his life.
Really?
Yeah, as
Didn't
it became
know that.
a raspy.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I would be terrified to be Frank Sinatra's vocal coach. That guy, he had ties to the mob, and he was kind of a
Interesting character.
very strong guy. I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra's vocal coach. Yeah.
Though, I'm not the only one who plays an instrument. Faye does too.
You do?
Yeah.
You play
I play
clarinet, right?
Yeah, clarinet.
With the band.
Used to.
Used to.
I played it from like grade 6 to grade 10.
Uh-huh.
So that was around 4 years as well, I think. 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so in grade 6,
That was like...
did they have an elementary band program, or did you just... Yeah?
We had an elementary band program.
Okay.
He played saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
Sax?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you like about the clarinet?
I don't know. I just picked it because it looked like the easiest instrument. I was in grade 6. I don't know why I picked that.
Do you still pick it up once in a while?
Not recently.
Yeah. I used to play trumpet, and just it's sitting in my room.
Still?
I mean, I should actually pick it up once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's only like when we have a staff thing, and they're like, "Hey, you play trumpet."
The winter
and then,
assembly.
oh shoot, yeah. And then it's like, okay, I need to dust this off. I just start practicing it, because you lose your lips after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened to your sax?
I found the piano more interesting.
Uh-huh.
What did you do with it though?
Oh, I think I was renting for a very long time, and just came back to Long McQuaid.
Oh.
Yeah, I just found it a little bit boring, and I thought the piano might be more fun. So here we are.
So how did you get into classical music? Because it's not a typical thing that teenagers would enjoy.
True.
Music from, like 1700s.
True. Which I'm thankful for, because my grandpa, he has, throughout my life, been talking about classical music and taking me to concerts and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, he's really been going at me and telling me to listen to different pieces. And I guess just over the times, I've gotten used to classical music, and I see now why it's so good. And I think that also has to do with the fact that I've learned a little bit of music theory, and that I can understand how complex it can get and how cool that is. Yeah.
I think it's a lot of things are that way. If you like, say for example, a sport, if you just watch, let's say, hockey for the first time, and it's like, okay, they're just playing around with a puck, but then you start thinking about or you try it yourself,
Right.
and you realize, oh, this is not easy to be skating around and handling a puck and doing all this kind of stuff. Or you watch a cooking show and you see how adept certain chefs are at, taking anything and turning it into a gourmet meal. And when you look at those nuances, you start developing an appreciation, and then that's kind of where you get started in terms of appreciating it and then enjoying it yourself.
True.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, also, I guess this goes for all music, but classical music in particular, it doesn't have any lyrics. And so it's very easy to interpret it in different ways. Often I find that you can relate classical music with all sorts of different scenarios that you have in your daily life or just life in general. I mean, you'll have, I guess I could say, Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto. You can tie it to so many things throughout the piano concerto, of course. But you can tie it to having a hard time, difficulties, getting over that, which is common with a lot of music. But classical music in particular is very good at that. Very, very good at conveying feelings.
And I guess that's why quite often they're used in movies.
True.
Right?
Right.
Have you seen like an opera before?
Yes, I went to Carmen.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went there as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. It is good.
And La Boheme is coming up.
I've never heard of Low M.
Oh, you got to see that.
Really?
It's Puccini.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a classic. It's beautiful, and it takes place in Paris. Well, depending on how they set this one, right? Because sometimes they modernize it or change up where it is.
I see.
The musical Rent, it's based on La Boheme.
I see.
The same, similar story, right? About these bohemians trying to survive as starving artists. But yeah, you should definitely see that one. It comes around to Vancouver once in a while.
Really?
Every few years.
So it's a must.
Yeah, I would see it. The last time I saw it was a while ago, and it, made an impression.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really interesting that classical music is your thing. Are there any other musical genres you're into?
I don't know. Faye's been getting me into. Faye, what is Wave to Earth even? What was that?
I don't know, like
What genre?
indie or something.
Indie music.
Wave to Earth.
Wave
Yeah.
to Earth.
I've never heard of
like-
them.
This Korean band,
Okay.
except sometimes they sing in English. I'm pretty sure.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to explain them.
Is it soft,
No.
hard, lots of electric,
Yeah.
electronic?
I don't know how to explain that.
Electric guitar.
Okay.
It's like an actual band, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an actual band
yeah,
with
so like
guitars
they
and
actually have
drums.
instruments.
Okay.
Band of Three.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they are very good.
Have you been to concerts?
I have. I went to Wave to Earth concert, like
Oh, what concert?
Wave to Earth.
Oh, Wave to Earth? Oh,
Yeah.
they came here.
Yeah, they came here like last September. I think it was September 16th or 27th.
Is that how you got into them, or did you know about them before?
I knew about them like 1 or 2 years before that. Because I know I was bummed out because they also the year before this concert, they came here as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin went and I was bummed out because he didn't get me a ticket.
I
think it
hate
was
when
like-
that happens.
It was like,
It's hard to hear about stuff sometimes
Yeah.
in the city. I don't know what it is, but sometimes, like way after the fact, I'll be like, "What? They had I would have gone. What happened? How come I didn't know?" I don't know what it is. So I've been actually subscribing to a lot of like.
I resort to Instagram.
Do you? Yeah, I subscribe to like everything
Yeah.
for just to find out. Like, tell me when.
Like, I need to know this.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because I've missed so many concerts. I had a friend. I went to Cuba with a friend, and the reason we went to Cuba,
For a concert?
no,
Oh.
for a vacation for
All the
2
way
weeks
for
No, just for a concert.
for concert. But we went because of the music.
Oh.
Because in the early 2000s, there was a group called the Buena Vista Social Club, which was actually a documentary that a musician from the States made. He went to Cuba to find all these old musicians that like he had heard about them before, but they had never come out of Cuba. So he went there to find them. First of all, these legendary Cuban singers and artists, and he made a documentary going to where they lived and talking about Cuba, and
Creepy.
then at the end, not to spoil, you should see the documentary. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
But at the end, he actually brings all of them back to the States to play at Carnegie Hall in New York City. So, the plane lands, they go to the big city, and you can see the looks on their faces as they're for the first time ever coming out of Cuba.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, tall buildings. Because they never seen any of that stuff before.
I see, right?
And if you ever get a chance to go to Cuba, it's like stuck in the 50s.
Really?
All of the vehicles, because of embargoes, from the States, there's not much trade with other countries, especially the States. And so they have all these old 50s and 60s American cars that they've just kept up over all this time.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Havana, you'll see all these beautiful, colorful cars that they've done a good job of maintaining.
I see.
Yeah, up till now.
Whoa.
But anyways, the music, both of us enjoyed the music from that documentary. So we went to Cuba. When we came back, apparently, Buena Vista Social Club had a concert here.
Oh.
I was
Oh my.
completely clueless. My friend went to this concert, and then I found out about it after. And I was like, what? That's the whole reason why we went to Cuba. And you didn't tell me.
Yeah. Backstab.
And then because they were all in their 90s,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
they all started dying off.
Dying off is insane.
That was like the last concert that they ever did. It was almost like, okay, I didn't get to see it. Okay, that's fine. I'll just catch them on the next round.
Oh,
And
no,
they're
no
just
more.
dying.
No, next round. That was it.
That's sad.
That's very sad.
A little funny, honestly.
It's a little bit
Funny
funny.
that they're
yes.
dying.
No, I guess it's funny, how that all
Just
happened, and
the irony.
there's no way I can actually ever see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, music, like there's so many different genres that I'm interested in. Just like you, finding classical music and finding your bands and appreciating them. I think, like for me, jazz is my number one.
Right,
I would have to say. I grew up listening to, my dad would listen to classical music, so he's huge on classical music. But once I started playing jazz in the band in high school, that's when I was like, wow, you can actually, take a couple of chords and start improvising. And then it's like, when you watch jazz musicians, they're like listening and watching each other. And it just somehow all works out, which is improvisation and that kind of teamwork and interaction. That amazes me. I can't do it. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's just amazing to watch and appreciate that.
I see. From what I understand, though, those people have like trained a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, to a point that like it's natural.
right. There's like musical cues that you would pick up on,
Yeah.
and then get into it. Right. Yeah, for sure.
So you played jazz band. What did you play? The trumpet?
Trumpet.
I see.
Yeah, so we had a really good music program in Richmond when I was growing up. So elementary school, we started in grade 6. I rented a trumpet. And when I got to high school, it was great. It used to be junior, senior. So in my junior high school, grade 8 to 10, we had a really good music program.
I see.
Awesome instructor for the music program and really high level. So we played at festivals and stuff like that. So I was in both the jazz and concert band because it was just so much fun. I was a band nerd until I got to grade 11, 12 because we went to a senior high. Their band program wasn't as good. So I dropped out. Yeah.
I see. So then when did you pick up the piano?
I played piano when I was younger, so I probably started when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Whoa.
I probably didn't practice as much as you did. Went through the Royal Conservatory program until I think I got to grade 8 Royal Conservatory.
That's it. Yeah.
And then high school started and I was into other stuff.
Right.
But I still have a piano at home, and once in a while I'll sit there and try something.
Right. I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if I had all the time in the world, then I could get better at it. But you know, there's just so many things I involve myself in, and just like you guys, you know, you have interest, but then there's also only so much time.
Right.
Yeah.
Time problems.
So even if in my head it's like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could be if I could play a like professional jazz piano.
Oh,
I know that's not possible. It's impossible because those people who are professionals, that's their life, right?
true.
Yeah.
Though nothing is impossible.
Yeah, if you practice enough over a certain number of years, I guess you could get to the first step.
Right.
Yeah, so you guys seem to be having a lot of fun at school, but also kind of balancing things. You guys are involved in a lot of clubs too, right?
Not me. That's Faye. I don't do much.
Robotics? That was like a huge interest of yours.
You involve like all your time into robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah, last semester.
We didn't win much. I don't think-
So
Not
much,
about
so
the
much
winning.
For staying till like 7 p.m. every day.
Oh, that was so bad. Oh, dude.
You guys were both in robotics. So how, like, I've never been to one of your robotics nerd sessions.
Well, thanks.
So what does that entail? Like, if you were explaining it to somebody who wants to join next year, what does it mean to be in the robotics program?
It's advertisement time.
Build robots. I don't know. Build robots code.
So, like, how does it start at the beginning of the year?
Well, for us, they went through like a whole application process because of how much people joined.
Not me.
Really? Oh, there were a lot of people.
Kind of, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I think they selected a few people because they didn't want like a big team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think for the first few meetings, it was just like setting up roles and like trying to see what everyone wanted to do in the team.
What are the roles? Like, I have no clue.
Right.
I think there was there was a programmer, builder, social media. I think there was gonna be a photographer, but that ended up just being merged with social media and stuff.
Uh-huh. So it's geared towards the competitions that you would have, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's like the main focus. I don't think we've had a meeting since we left provincials.
Yeah. Everybody just got really bummed out.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff do you do? What does it take to create a robot? Like, do you get all the materials and you just
I think
screw them together, or
yeah. I think we have like a bunch of materials just from like previous years.
Okay.
I don't actually know too much of that because I only got to do social media stuff, sadly.
So it's like a kit.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Go on.
What?
I was just saying, do you remember David Golland?
Yes.
Yeah. He used to be a part of a team
Right.
outside of school. And I think we got a lot of stuff from them too.
Right. I think he started the robotics club.
Yeah,
Was
he
it?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first leader of it.
Right. So he got that stuff. You get that stuff. You put it together. The hardware are there like instruction manuals, or like what are you following here? You're not just making stuff up, right?
I mean, you would think not.
Like how creative can you get with? I mean, there must be constraints because it's competition, so everybody has to follow
have,
those
like,
constraints.
They have a whole like guidelines and rules document on the website somewhere. And yeah, you kind of just have to follow those constraints, but you can you have as much freedom as you want otherwise.
So the constraints would be things like size, weight.
You can't bring a gun in there.
Don't bring anything that's flammable.
Okay.
Certain metals can't be used.
So usually, as I've seen in some of the videos, like you're usually moving an object from one place to another place.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
And that's the basic challenge.
Yeah.
So you have to program it to be automated, but also there's like a remote control competition.
Yeah, it's both. All in one match. A certain section is autonomous, where it does everything on its own that's been coded to do. And then there's teleop, where you have a driver, 2 drivers, up to you how many you want, and you drive around, do whatever the objective is.
I see. And so at no point do you command your robot to destroy another robot.
No, that's actually against the rules.
We joked about it. We really wish we could.
So it's not battle bots.
No. We always joked
do they
about wanting to do that, though.
Do they have that competition at the provincials?
No,
No.
that I know of. No.
No, it's all
Would have been cool.
just, a red button if you happen to not win, where it goes berserk and destroys other robots.
Right.
I think at Worlds or something, there was a robot that ended up just turning off one of the other robots like on switch. And
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah. So he just couldn't play the rest of the match.
Wow.
I don't think it was intentional though.
Oh,
You'd hope not.
I'm not sure.
Because that would be a programming feat
Yeah.
to hit the the off switch.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of testing and problem solving and stress that way.
Lots of that. I wasn't involved in that though, so I didn't
What were
have
you
to
involved
stress.
in?
They only let me do like social media. I never got to do building or programming.
Oh, okay. I take back the nerd comment then.
Yeah, thank you. He's the one who did all the coding.
So it's all programmed in C or Java. Right.
Java.
Okay.
Yeah, programmed in Java.
And is that the preferred language for
I think
robots?
that's just the language that the company uses, because everything is with Rev. The hardware is with Rev. I mean, the actual brain.
What's Rev?
Just a brand, I believe. A Rev. They have a client, a Rev client. You buy hardware from them, like the brain, and then you connect to the Rev client and you code everything into it. That's really the only thing that you do get from Rev, though. Though you can get servos and motors, from what I know, though I didn't build. That was more Bjorn and Jobin's and Daniel's job.
So did they, within the constraints, did they modify the robot beyond the original design? Is that what they do?
Yeah, though there isn't an original design.
Oh.
It's up to you what you want to do, and through testing, like mini tournaments, you figure out what works and what doesn't work, and from there you either completely destroy a robot and build it up again, or you make a few mini adjustments.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
Didn't we like completely restart the robot with like 2 weeks before provincials or
Really?
something?
Yeah.
And why? It just wasn't, obviously it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad design.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of coding.
So from the ground up, 2 weeks before competition, that must have been stressful and
Yeah.
took a long time, long hours.
Yes.
I think we were like 18th out of 27 at provincials because of that.
Oh, you weren't last.
A lot of the robots weren't working.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
there's more than one robot?
No, it was just like other
Oh,
teams.
other teams.
Yeah.
Okay. You only bring one robot.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
other teams were able to bring more depending on how many sub teams they had.
Right. You come from a certain
Oh.
school.
Some schools had like larger groups and they all like worked on different things, I guess.
I see.
I think
Yeah.
it was Port Moody who had like 4 teams.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
it's
Port
a-
Moody.
Is it Port Moody or is it like, I don't know, Meadowbridge?
I look, you don't know.
So, I mean, there's provincials, and then if you make it, you can go to worlds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Though
pretty cool.
I heard that not a lot of people wanted to go to Worlds because it already cost so much money to go to provincials.
Uh-huh.
Instead, they decided to do some other mini side league that was a lot more fun because you had multiple events.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ellie Matheson, very good at coding and building the robot.
Yeah?
They got, I think, second or third or fourth place, something like that, around there.
Second,
What is
maybe.
Well, they are very good at coding, and they decide not to go to Worlds.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Where was the Worlds?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeehaw.
They had gone to Worlds a few times before.
Yeah.
Just too expensive this time.
Yeah. And I imagine the competition, there's probably a lot of competition from, and
A
it's
lot.
Worlds. So is that, when we say Worlds, is that like North America?
No, that is all around.
All around the world.
Yeah. We talked to girls Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay.
Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan.
Oh,
Team.
it's a real Worlds. Okay.
Yeah, real World. They were going to compete in Worlds too, if they got there, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you got to talk to other teams from
Yeah.
different parts of the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. They randomly messaged me on Instagram at like 9 p.m. asking if we can plan some online meeting.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I planned that for like a day or two after.
Uh-huh. And why did they want to talk to you? Steal your
Uh,
secrets.
Yeah. I think it was just to like ask for tips because at that time we had just gotten like which award was it?
The Connect Award, I think.
Connect award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
No.
talking about.
I don't know. It's just like I think that award revolves around just like talking
Connect.
with other teams and just like
Networking.
Oh, you
Working
got a
together with
Connect
them.
award,
yeah.
Yes.
which means that you're good at connecting with other people.
Yeah, and networking.
You get along with them.
That's a competition.
I don't know.
It's an objective.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's multiple lots.
So beyond moving an object from one place to another,
yeah.
automated,
Mhm.
and moving it remote, there's
Yeah.
other things you can win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is where it gets good. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just building the robot and coding it, it's also how you work together as a team. It's supposed to help build the team in terms of help with critical thinking and problem solving,
Mhm.
but also just in the future where there's going to need to be a lot of working together.
Yes.
There's awards for that.
Great.
Yeah.
So the Connect Award specifically,
I think that was
what
like
was?
how well you get along with other teams and like how well you show respect and stuff.
Oh, it's like a spirit thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Sportsmanship.
it was that. It was either that or that was Inspire Award.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'm rusty.
So this other team said, "Well, you guys won the Connect Award, so you must be nice to talk to."
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I think they also just wanted to know how we got that award. But they also had like so many more awards than we did.
True.
Oh, they wanted your secrets as to how to get
That-
more
yeah.
awards.
Yeah.
I see. How about stop being so cutthroat ambitious? Start with that. That's how you get Spirit Awards.
You should
Maybe.
tell them that.
You're just nice.
I think it was also we also
Gotta
got
lose
that
a little.
award. We also got that award because like of that one presentation we did with STEM Mastery.
Uh-huh.
Oh, right.
We probably told a few white lies talking about that. 'cause
Yeah,
I don't
you
know-
did.
I don't know. I don't know how much the STEM Mastery kids paid attention.
Oh, actually, I remember one meeting that where who was it? I guess I saw
think it was
Racken,
probably Racken and Bjorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought the robot in here, and that
Yeah.
was the quietest I've ever seen
Wow.
those kids. So STEM Mastery is where we have the Gibson kids come
Yeah.
in and they learn about STEM. And so there was this one presentation that was like 5 minutes long, and they were totally quiet and listening. So they were interested for sure. Hopefully some of them join in robotics in the future.
Hopefully, if it's still running.
Hmm.
I don't know how much people are interested after like. Actually, I don't know. It didn't seem like too many people wanted to join. It was just too much for like a team.
Well, yeah, and you have to, if you try to force a club to run without people who are passionate about it, then that's no good either.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like STEM Mastery from year to year. I only sponsor it if the students come to me and say, hey, we really want to do this. Otherwise, it's not worth running. Right?
Do you think there's going to be a STEM Mastery next year?
I think so, because some students have already come to me.
Oh, whoa. I see.
Like who?
Probably
Oh,
Just came
was
to
that
me
like
today.
this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So as long as there are people who are interested in putting in the time, then I know it's going to go well. Otherwise, why?
True.
Sometimes
Why
it's
bother?
well, sometimes it's time for things to end and you move your passions onto other things.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be forcing things to happen just because, right?
True.
Hmm.
People should do that a lot more in life.
Absolutely. How do you apply that in your life?
If something doesn't work, we move on.
You give up and you move to other things.
Move on, maybe go back to it later.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think always consider it not a failure, but kind of something that you've learned and take whatever you can out of it to transfer to other things.
Right.
Right. Because that's life. You could see it as a failure,
Mhm.
or you could see it as, well, these are the 3 things I learned from this.
True.
And it's absolutely true, because whether you think about that or not, you do take those things on.
It's all about learning.
Yep. For sure. That's why we're here at a school.
Ways
Hopefully.
of being with
Hopefully.
Mr. Kung.
That's right.
Wow.
The Tao of Mr. Kung.
I feel so inspired.
Good. Now show up in class then and make it work.
Hey, I did.
No, you do show up. So what do you like? This is your grade 11 year. You've got 1 year left. What are you guys thinking of? How are you going to end this with a bang?
Hopefully not die.
It's because it's a big year next year. And you look at all these grade 12s, they're like stressing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're constantly studying. I see them around
True.
the library all the time
Right,
by
yeah.
themselves or in this room.
I know sometimes they're here till like 9 or 10 studying.
Absolutely. And these whiteboards that we have in this room are usually filled with like formulas and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That's the grade 12s. They're asking for reference letters, filling out scholarship applications. They've got a million different deadlines that they have to meet. I'm stressing you guys out.
It won't be that bad. It won't be that
Yeah, that's what everyone says until they get to grade 12. So what are you looking forward to, and what are you dreading?
I'm actually kind of looking forward to Capstone. Kind of.
Yeah?
Because I don't know if we're... Actually, are we allowed to do duo projects, or is it just like individual?
Individual.
Okay.
I suppose if you found a way to still do your individual part and be assessed on the presentation individually,
Yeah.
then I guess you could work on something that interacts with somebody else's project.
I see.
Yeah.
That could work.
I see how that could work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're looking forward to the capstone?
Yeah. Because I was thinking of doing photography.
Yeah.
We were gonna start like a photography business, but we weren't sure if like we were allowed to do duo projects like that.
Oh,
We can figure something out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be like learning about the business and learning about photography. And those are 2 different things, but within the context of the same basically the same project.
Yeah.
I'll be the beginner. You've got the business.
What?
I'll be the beginner photographer.
You know more about the settings than I do.
Knowing about the settings is not photography.
Exactly. Exactly. You run the club.
Well, it doesn't mean I teach people how to take pictures.
But you don't have to teach.
I don't understand.
I teach them how to develop film, not take pictures.
I don't know the basics about settings and stuff like that. And goodness knows I've looked it up before, and I just don't get it. And I did have I grew up with a film camera, and I did have a digital camera with a whole bunch of manual settings on it that I brought to London, and it got stolen because somebody stole my bag in a train station. But when you go on a trip, like I don't want to bother with that kind of stuff, probably because I'm not good at it. So I just find, okay, I just take out my phone and it seems to take okay photos. Like, is there, both of you, what is the advantage of knowing your settings?
I don't know my settings. I can't say that.
So what settings are we talking about? Like exposure and aperture and
ISO, all that. Shutter speed.
Yeah.
It's easier to take pictures faster. That's definitely good.
What do you mean faster? Like,
well, you
click instead of
you already know all
click.
your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can shape your picture to the way you want it by changing those settings. And I guess it depends if you're doing digital or film. But with digital, obviously you can go to your computer, you can edit the pictures, make them look better, quote unquote better. Or you can just take what you want right there and not edit afterwards.
Okay.
And you just do that by changing the settings.
That's one thing I was wondering about when I was in London and I was going around, messing around with settings and going, okay, I've got the blur that I want, the bokeh or whatever.
Yeah.
Couldn't I just do it in post? I was thinking about that. I was like, what is the advantage right now of messing around with this while things are happening in front of me?
I guess that depends on the person. Mr. Kim absolutely hates digital.
Yeah.
And just likes doing everything up front right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I'm a little different. I like taking the picture and then editing afterwards. It's soothing.
I guess if you know how to do it, then you might as well do it right then.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Faye, what's your take on this?
Okay. I guess we answered that question.
Oh, okay. I have more.
Okay.
I came prepared.
Sure.
Okay, this is just like a hypothetical question that I wonder if you've pondered ever. Okay. Do you think that life would be better without portable?
Where's this coming from?
Oh.
Okay, go.
This is a random
Without
question.
portable?
Without like portable technology like phones, and to what extent? Because we very easily get distracted off of phones. I mean, I bet you've seen it in class before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But then we also use it for a lot of things. What do you guys think what do you guys think would happen if we didn't have phones or anything portable?
Well, I know exactly
We'd have a
because
better
you've been in
attention
that.
span.
I came from a world long ago in a world where there were no cell phones. So the distractions when I was going to school were not necessarily passing notes, but yeah, there was some note passing. There was chatter. There's always been chatter. I guess you could say I can't say it's terrible to have these devices just yet because there are definitely advantages to it too. But definitely in the classroom when you are trying to focus on opportunities to grow and to work with other people and learn how to interact with people, it is a detriment to have a screen between your face and their face. That's what I think. And that's why I think it's a great thing that we are almost given permission now, because there was a time when it was a gray area to ask people to keep phones away, because I really don't think it belongs among all the other distractions to have that constantly be in your face. I don't think it's really good.
True.
So, not that people weren't distracted before phones, because there were other things too. But I think it is, it's much worse because there's so much on that thing that can take your mind off the present.
True. So would you get rid of it or keep it?
You like get rid of entirely?
Entirely, anything portable.
I think we can't make the assumption that we are able to do that. I think things move forward.
Yeah.
And I mean, the cat's out of the bag with this kind of stuff, with AI. But human beings, we just have to find ways to control how these things are used. And it's hard to say that to people your age, because at your age, you're number one, you're trying to find yourself, so a little bit rebellious, right? You're not necessarily going to listen to what adults are saying, even if it's good for you. It's hard to convince like people your age that, in the future, you're gonna, you hear all these things that adults say, but it's hard for you to realize that without having been there, right? Until much later on.
Right, experiences.
Yeah. So that's an interesting hypothetical, but it's impossible. It's impossible to go backwards. Mm-hmm. So we have to find ways to move forwards with the things that we have. And I think, speaking of devices, it's good that we can manage it now, or try to manage it more by having things like rules. And that's what rules and laws in society are for. We agree that, okay, these are not good at these certain times, so we should put a law in place or put a rule in place.
True.
So that we can, have a better society. It shouldn't be a free-for-all.
Yeah. I guess that's all based on perspective, though, and not wanting... I mean, a bunch of that comes from knowing what's right and knowing what's wrong, but you can't really know what's right or wrong. There really isn't one. There's just different perspectives from what I see.
It's a kind of a consensus built over time by having discussions like this, right?
And powerful people.
Yeah, sometimes overpowering people, but hopefully we're able to talk about things like this and come to some agreement. And that's kind of how our world works, right?
Right.
I would love to be able to go into the store and take whatever I want and just leave.
Yeah.
But that's why we have laws that prevent people from doing that, because you can't do that because shop owners have to make money. They can't be just losing their merchandise.
Right.
Right. So we've agreed as a society that that's not a good thing. You can, I guess you could debate that, it is a good thing. But as a society, we've decided that overall, it's not a good thing. That's why we have laws.
I agree.
Yeah. And that's why we have like rules in the classroom. Because, because we feel that it's not good to have your cell phone out constantly.
True.
But it takes time. Yeah, the school system, it does take a lot of time to catch up. Like I'm on an AI committee at the district.
I see.
And we've been talking about, okay, AI, let's figure this thing out. Let's learn about it. Let's make sure people are aware about it, like how it works and what it's doing and what kind of information it takes from you. Because that's a huge thing that you don't want. You don't want people to have their privacy taken away or their accounts on some server somewhere that people can have access to. That's something that a lot of us sometimes don't think about. Right. And then put some guidelines in place as to where it's appropriate or not. I mean, it's a very useful thing, and you guys are very lucky that you have it. Well, hey, I'm very lucky that I have it because I use it.
I see, no harm.
But it's you have to think about time and place and what the goal is. So for me, if the goal is for a student to actually go through the hard process of learning something and not just skip to a conclusion or the end product, then put that technology aside and let's try to see if we can figure this thing out without the technology. But if the goal is to figure out an answer to something quickly, there's no better way than to get it with that technology.
Fair. I know I use it for learning in InfoTech.
I think that is the most powerful thing, I think, nowadays, that you can query an AI and just keep asking deeper and deeper questions.
Yeah.
And now that they've put in like references, usually, that you can check to make sure it's good information. I mean, it's not always correct still. Like I've tested it with things like GameMaker or coding. Yeah. It's really good at like Python coding. It's GameMaker, it seems to be a little bit fuzzy on.
Not much training, I guess.
Yeah. It's all about the training and what data sets it's drawing from, right? So, but still it gives you ideas for what to look into. And I like that about it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Even if it's it's almost like you're looking in a mirror, because it's not that you're talking to yourself, because it is trained on knowledge that you might not have. But in the end, it's still human knowledge, and it's not something that's out there beyond what we already know, because it's just trained on things that it finds on the internet, right? Yeah. Different sources. So it's not actually, when it creates something new, it's not really creating something new yet. It's just trained on that stuff, so it pleases you because it knows that, okay, this is what you're looking for, and you're like, whoa, that's so cool. But when you Studio Ghibli your face, well, where does that come from? Well, it's taking copyright material and just reproducing it with your face. So that's what I mean. It's almost like a mirror. It's like you're talking to yourself. But sometimes when you talk to yourself, and that's what people love about writing, is like it's like a conversation with yourself. You're really thinking about something. It does help you.
True. It's like talking to someone that knows it all.
Yeah, it is. And you can convince yourself that they're a know-it-all, but you should, in the back of your mind, know that it's not sentient.
Yeah.
It doesn't have feelings, and it doesn't know everything. It's just pretending to know everything.
Very good pretender, then.
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
And that's the trouble, right? Because immediately we think, okay, this is the end-all and be-all for all knowledge, but it's really not.
There's still some time.
I remember I got bored during summer school and I started testing it with chemistry because I already finished my homework. So I was just like giving it random questions to see if it would get it right.
And?
Most of the answers were wrong, actually. Not my answers, but ChatGPT's answers.
Right.
Like I had to like add in small details and it would be like, oh, right, my bad. Let's add in this and let's see what happens.
So much of that.
It says, oh, yeah, that's right. As if it, knew that it was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. It's because you told it was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I tried it with some physics questions, just wholesale, copied the question, stuck it in. It had no clue what it was talking about. It's like completely off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do have to go into any of those kinds of technologies, understanding what its limits are, right? Otherwise, we trust it too much.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll be racking servers for the AI bots that take over society.
Hopefully that's what I do for work.
Racking servers.
Yeah. Or just like
another server needed.
Just start learning how AI
more
works.
More power.
Maybe I'll take over the world with AI.
Or it takes over you.
I'm taking over the world.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's very interesting. Anyways.
Anyways.
Yeah. Do you guys, do you use it for learning? Do you use it for
I also use it for learning.
Yeah?
Or just like, I start summarizing random things when I get bored.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I remember Mr. Kim mentioned it, like, first year I took summer school. I think that was the first time I actually used ChatGPT. And he was like, oh, you could use it and just have it summarize things. Like, tell me this as if I'm 5 years old.
Yes. Yeah, I've used it a lot for that. Yeah.
I do that sometimes just when I'm bored. I don't actually need it summarized, but I want to see how, like, simple it can get.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, what I see it doing is maybe, like, replacing Google, because it's like a better search engine, right?
Yeah.
instead of having to look through all these links that the search engine produces, summarize it for me and tell me something, right?
Yeah.
And if you can get it down to explain like I'm 5, then that's even better. And then go deeper and more complex. But a lot of humans can't do that either. Like my favorite scientist, Richard Feynman, his test was always like he would listen to like a lecture.
Yeah.
He was a quantum physicist. He was a physicist. So he would then ask his colleague, okay, he would ask like really simple questions. And sometimes they wouldn't be able to answer it. So if you can't answer like really basic questions that a 5-year-old or 10-year-old or a 13-year-old would be able to ask, then do you really understand the basics of what you're talking about? Or are you just using technical jargon to fill in the gaps that you might have in terms of basic understanding? So I think that's a really good use of it.
Yeah.
I think it could be a very powerful personal tutor in the future. My worry is that sometimes it's wrong. So if we just leave, there's got to be, maybe there's a way to like that we can train it with like our notes or our like somehow certain things that we want it to know so that it can like work with a student. I think that'd be really cool.
That just reminded me of how, like, I think back in bio last semester, Aryan asked it to make a whole test for him, like a practice test.
Cool.
And he asked Miss Chow if that was a smart thing to do, and she was like, "Hell no! Like that's the most stupidest thing you could do." Since she like gives you like review she usually gives you review at least. Or there's like you have her whole notebook, so you could just read that if anything.
Yeah. But there's this thing called Notebook LM that is from Google, where you can actually feed it like PDFs and stuff. So imagine taking all the notes and feeding it to the AI and then saying, hey, can you generate different questions for extra practice?
Yeah.
Right? I wonder how well it could do that. It's kind of cool, actually, if you ever play with that. It'll actually create a podcast for you too.
Really?
It's a podcast?
Yeah. And it's
just people talking about that subject.
2 people.
Is it your choice, or is it just like
No, it's just
random?
built. It's just 2 people.
Okay.
It's a woman and a man, and they run this podcast virtually. 2 AIs or an AI with 2 voices, and basically, it's unbelievable, actually. So they take all the content you give it, and then they basically do a podcast episode about that topic.
Dang.
It's ridiculous. Like if you listen to it, like the intonation and stuff like that, it sounds like you're listening to a podcast about the notes that you just fed it. It's pretty cool.
Kind of disappointed I can't get like Obama and Trump like doing a podcast about it though.
Naruto
Not
and
yet.
Donald Trump.
Not yet. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's been scary in some ways, but you know, as soon as ChatGPT came out and I started playing with it right away, because that's what I do. That's what I am. Proud.
Test it before
Good.
other people start using it.
Yeah. I was blown away. I just spent hours with it. I was like, write me a poem about blah, blah, blah. Write a rap song about, it's just, yeah, it's pretty cool. But we still have to remember that, you know, it has its limits.
Yeah. I think I spent like a whole day trying to get it to help me with like Roblox stuff while I was coding
Programming?
like rigging the character and stuff.
Is it good at Roblox?
It's okay. You have to like feed it a lot before it actually tells you the problem.
Yeah. And that's probably why it's better at things like Python, because it's such a popular language and there's so much out there about it. Like on all the forums, people are constantly asking questions. There's constant solutions on Stack Overflow or Reddit. But something like Roblox, maybe there's not as much. GameMaker definitely not as popular,
It would
right?
only be on like the actual website forums on their own, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it probably is fed on whatever's on the internet. So things that are more popular, it would know more about. More obscure stuff, then it would be not as good at. And that's a telltale sign that that's the limits of what it can do, right?
True. What if you just be fed more, though? Regular updates?
Yeah. I guess that's the whole training process.
Yeah.
Feed it by user interaction.
No, that'd probably be a bad idea.
Take the data from the chats.
True, it does have that, a feedback thing. But, like, what if the user says
you
something
are
wrong?
training it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, what if you say something, like, wrong that's inaccurate?
Then I think that's part of the training. So
it
when
knows.
you say, no, that's not right, this is right,
Yeah,
then it takes that into consideration.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. And the more you talk to it, the more it knows about you.
That's kind of scary, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. It has like a history with you
Yeah.
at this point. Like my chat GPT knows that I'm a teacher at this school and what I teach because of the things that I've been asking it. Right? So here's a good test. Like if you go home and go on chat GPT, like who do you think I am? What's my personality? What do I enjoy listening to? What's my favorite dish? It probably knows a few things.
That thing's gonna give me a weird response because for some reason I was messing around a few weeks ago and I gave it the personality of sophisticated, Gen Z, outgoing,
Oh, yeah.
and like a bunch of different things that just clash with each other. And I haven't been able to fix it, so
You've
it's just
confused it.
yeah. And now it speaks to me with like emojis and everything.
So bad.
Oh no, you broke it. I guess you just have to somehow train it out of that.
It was in the settings somewhere. It's just I don't know how to change the settings again and like revert it back to normal.
You have to go into the settings. I thought you could just tell it.
Probably.
You could just tell it. Yeah.
Tell it to stop being so Gen
It's
Z.
like I just started clicking a bunch of different personality traits while looking at how it would talk to me. And then I kind of saved it as that, and I don't know how to get rid of it now because every time I erase the stuff, I talk to it again and it just appears again.
I see.
So I'm stuck talking to some Gen Z sophisticated old chat GPT.
Well, that's kind of fun. If that's useful to you.
It's not. Every time during InfoTech, I'm like, I go on ChatGPT and then I show Sukhman the response it gives me.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It like gives me sparkle emojis while talking about how like, ooh,
Hey,
that's
glitter
a
pop.
I think you can easily correct it. Just
probably.
just say you're not Gen Z anymore. You're boomer.
It still gives me long responses at least. They're kind of helpful.
Yeah.
If I just code to talk like Mr. Kung. Talk like
How
Mr. Kung.
good.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wait,
Think
how
I
would
know
that
who
work?
Mr. Kung is?
No, but what if you got a bunch of recordings and then fed it those recordings?
How dare you?
You're gonna have
What if I get to impersonate you?
you're gonna have it like
You're gonna
speak
create
to you
a-
with audio.
Mr. Kung GPT.
Mr. Kung GPT. Wow.
That would be bizarre.
Wow.
You probably could.
Should make that my capstone.
You definitely could.
Your capstone.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting experiment. You definitely could.
Yeah. That'd be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think you came up with that all on your own.
Yeah. Wow. This podcast is so
Capstone.
helpful.
Because I think if you have the pro account, you can actually create your own GPT and then
You can.
feed it. Yeah, you can feed it whatever you want to feed it. And based on that, I guess build a personality.
I could use this podcast.
You could.
And every episode.
And every episode. Wow.
Yeah, 56, 57 now episodes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've taken too much of your time. Thanks for being so generous
Thank you.
on this podcast. And thank you for getting the ball rolling because I've got a few more, I've got a few more in the can now, or a few more planned out now. So it's been such a long time.
What's
and
next?
It's always
Who's next?
who's next. I've got a couple people. It won't be revealed until that actually happens. But anyways, come again next year.
Okay.
Because I would like to figure out how stressed you guys are.
Right. Yeah. Have a recap.
Have a recap. Remember what I said?
And
here we are.
For the middle of the year, or just like as we're graduating?
We'll check on you.
Okay.
Make sure you still have a pulse.
Well, thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.